you had a week since your last game. I wonder, on the offensive end of things, how do you think it developed? Did you try to do anything specific in that area?
Yeah, it has been a struggle at times for us to score. Some of it has been it has not really been turnovers necessarily, which is a positive, but it has been just and shot making enough shots in a particular run. So yeah, we've tried some things. We need to try to get the ball in some areas that we could be more effective, some people with the ball in some areas that could be more effective, and then just working with guys on, a certain comfort and rhythm that they might have shooting the ball or our offense might have in getting those shots for particular guys. So we're working hard on it, and I do feel like there's one bit of it is a simple thing that if we could shoot the ball well on a given game or given night, it would really open some things up and make it a little bit less tense, make the floor open a little bit more. So, and then I think there are certain things that we can do a little bit better that hopefully will show up during the course of games and give us an opportunity to score baskets.
You suggested before Delani's surgery that perhaps after, once the doctors got in there and rehab began, you'd get a better idea of perhaps when his timetable for return is. Do you have that?
Not really. I know the surgery went well and there were no surprises. And now he's just in the midst of, more rest. And then he'll have, I think he goes back to the doctor maybe in another 2 weeks. So I don't have that, and I don't know him. And again, as I think I had said before, the only hope that I hold out is because it's Delani. You know what I mean? I don't have any medical reason or a timeline to look to be positive, but just because it's Delani, that maybe there's a chance, and not something we're counting on, but that maybe there's a chance.
Hey, we're creeping up close here on the 5-year anniversary of COVID. Without inside joke, without recalling like the precise A10 tournament timetable that went on there, when you look back as like that might have been your best team and didn't get a chance to play in postseason.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best team we've had here. There have been some really, really good teams, and that's a very frustrating part. Obviously, a very, very small part of the pandemic, but for our sake, that's disappointing. We had the thing that would be interesting is we played Dayton here without Blake Francis. Pretty good game, and we might have had the opportunity to play Dayton again in the A10 tournament, and we would have gone into the NCAA tournament, maybe probably playing a worse team than Dayton since they might have been a 1 seed. I just, in terms of, I think we were the top-rated defensive team in the conference. We certainly had a lot of offensive firepower. Great group of guys, and I think, had those back-to-back years been normal, I think that would have been a really special time. It was a special time. It was obviously interesting time, but I think that group would have really, left even more of a mark than they were able to had all that been a normal postseason.
Lastly, for me, are you okay with the opening jump ball, or do you think it should be just alternating possessions and visitors start with the ball, home team gets it on the next held ball? It just seems like such an unscientific way to gain possession.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it. It's almost maybe ceremonious, you know what I mean? To see that at the beginning of the game, I think it'd be odd just to have somebody have the ball. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I do think that the officials, I feel like there may be a more uniform way to toss the ball would probably help. And I think probably each of them has their own, depending on how tall they are. Usually the 2 guys jumping are gigantic, so that's difficult. But maybe a uniform way to toss the ball would help.
John? To piggyback John's question about the offensive struggles at times, how have you communicated with the team about hopefully that doesn't leak over on the defensive end, because you guys have been, at times really, really good on that side of the ball.
Yeah, that's probably been the primary focus, is just making sure that we're tough, gritty, composed, and ready to defend, and that you're hoping that will generate some easier baskets for us. When you're struggling to shoot or you're struggling on offense, generally, you don't want to just rant and rave about shooting, because you want the guys to be calm and comfortable. You also don't want to ignore it altogether, and so it's a fine line, and it's lasted a lot longer than I had anticipated, but we still have to figure out ways to get easy baskets. So if we can be good defensively and continue to improve, it's a great sign for us as a team, and then I have to believe that'll help us offensively.
How have you been able to keep the guys upbeat to a certain degree during this time?
Well, this group is incredible. I mean, they're really hardworking, positive, always in for extra lifts, extra shooting. They love being around one another. I mean, so they've been really pretty unbreakable in that way. And so, I have to imagine that that's a super positive quality and trait, and that hopefully that'll show up for us during the course of games and at the conclusion of the games.
Anything else?
Is there ever temptation to start playing young guys like you would late in the baseball season, sort of give them more time, knowing that you're not going to get that large bid this year, and the odds of winning a tournament are, what I'm saying, to just go to a younger group preparing for the future?
A few years ago, I would have said yes, there would have been that discussion and temptation, but it's just so tricky now with knowing who will be on your roster the following season that, no, that's not a temptation now.
Anything else?
How has Delani helped you maybe as another, a player coach, an extra set of eyes for you during this time off?
Well, he's incredible. I mean, he's, he speaks to me all the time during the course of the game. He speaks to the team at every huddle. He grabs guys when they come out on the bench. As I've said many times, he's one of one. And, even the success we've had here during the course of games or improving, really he deserves a lot of credit, even though he's not even in there. He's just been tremendous and just an incredible person.
I think you have the highest three-point percentage on the team, and you have among the highest free throw shooting percentage on the team. Big guys typically don't do those two things well. How come you do?
It's just been a point of emphasis for me during the summer, the beginning of the season. Just differentiating myself as a big guy. I like to bang down low, get rebounds, make the tough plays, but I know that I'm confident enough to step out, make a three, make a couple clutch free throws for the team when we need it.
Offensively, that was the concern for this team going into this midweek bye. I wonder how you think the Spiders may have made progress in that area.
You said in terms of depth?
Offensively.
Offensively? We've tried a bunch of new things out in practice, using our length to our advantage, our speed to our advantage. I think a lot of it comes down to just making shots. And I think the guys are coming to a point where we know the shots are going to fall eventually. It's just about stringing them together. I'm confident that we'll make shots. We've proven it in practice plenty times. We've seen rare occurrences in games where we've made shots. I'm confident. I think coach is confident as well. Just put our guys in positions to make the right plays.
Has your role changed at all since Delani has been out of the lineup?
Yeah, I think that's something that I need to work on more. Delani's absence is obviously a huge blow for our team. And as one of the few returning guys, 3-year guys, I think I need to do a better job of leading this team. I think there was kind of a morale drop when Delani was hurt. But I think it's my job to show my leadership a little bit more, and obviously on the court, take a statistical, a bigger role, getting to my shot, getting rebounds, just anything that Delani would get. I need to make that a point of emphasis for me.
Is that something that Chris went to you about and discussed, or was that something you went to coach and said, hey, look, I've got to do better personally to help this team?
Honestly, I think that was something Delani actually came to me about. While he might not be on the floor, he's certainly with us in the locker room, in every huddle. He's been great. He was very honest with me about me needing to do more, a bunch of guys needing to do more. It's a collective effort. We're not a one-man wrecking crew. So when we string it together, I think we'll be really, really good.
Hey, one of the tweaks that you made offensively was you and Jonathan playing together. How has that been going? How has that progressed? What are the challenges to doing that?
It's been really fun. Just like John said, I've been working on my shooting a lot. And I don't know what the advanced analytics are. I'm not an advanced analytics guy, surprisingly. But we've been good on the court together. I think it frees him up, especially in the post, knowing that there's a lot less pressure off of him. It's been really fun. We're still experimenting, still tweaking with it. But I assume we'll continue to implement it in the future.
Coach said he put you at the 4 and JB at the 5 because you know the operation better. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I've been here for 3 years now. I think once you've been in a system for that long, it becomes second nature. I certainly feel like, learning from a guy like Matt who played both the 5 and the 4, just watching his tape has been great for me, just to kind of learn the movements, where you need to be. So.
Is that what you've been doing here lately?
I have.
Is watching Matt Grace film?
Again, just like doing more for the team. Usually I'm not like a huge film guy, but I know that, in a period of a downturn, you gotta do more. So, yeah.
Anything else, Ramon?
What can a win on Saturday do for you guys, confidence-wise, morale-wise, dealing with these struggles you've had recently?
I mean, it's huge. Obviously, Beckwith is a huge part of our program. He laid the foundation. Just an energetic, eccentric guy. I think it'd do a lot for us, especially. A good home crowd expected to come. Again, I think we'll be fine. We'll put in the work today and practice, make sure we're all locked in for Saturday, and